Wagwan, and welcome to episode 14 of the Shobocast. I'm Paul.
I'm Dan.
I'm Cameron.
And I'm also Dan.
Cheers.
You're shaking your head.
I was shaking my head at the Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Unacceptable.
Episode 14.
Episode 40. Who'd have thought we could get this far?
Not me.
I didn't.
No.
I don't think we should have got this far, if I'm honest.
No. One of us should
But
have
we've
died.
got plans for the future as well, so we must proceed.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
unfortunately.
apologise in advance for my really
You will,
squeaky
that's all.
stool that I'm sat on tonight.
Oh, it is very squeaky, isn't it?
And your really squeaky voice because your
I get-
balls haven't dropped.
Uncalled for, Paul.
No.
You know, you really killed the mood.
Rude. Yeah, you killed the mood with your
So, how's
for
everyone's
being a
week
rude
been?
dude.
What's that, Cameron?
How was your week, Daniel?
Um,
Dan's name isn't Daniel, it's just Dan.
it's literally written as Daniel.
Shut up.
My week's been fine. I'm talking to Paul.
Well, that's not great, is it?
Many things. Yeah, no, nothing interesting. Work as usual, and looking at Lego minifigures with Cameron.
Oh, yeah, you have all been doing that, haven't
We've
you?
started a little cult.
Well, two.
You can blame whoever it was that posted
Put it in
those
the,
pictures
In the Facebook group.
Yeah, that's my week. Nothing much. What about you, other Dan?
I've done nothing.
With your life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you
You
might
just
be
sat
joking,
there all
but it's
week.
true.
With the bag of
I-
rice.
He sat there
Yeah.
putting the rice back in the pack.
Grain by grain.
It took so long. What have I done? Me and flatmates made enchiladas
What have
and
you
watched Into
done?
the Spider-Verse.
Muy bien.
That's all that happened.
I watched Spider-Verse as well.
It's pretty good.
I was gonna watch Spider-Verse, but didn't.
So
Great
next
story.
week we'll be talking about Spider-Verse.
Oh, I
And its
completely...
connection to Doctor Who.
I completely...
No,
Miles
no.
Morales.
We're making a hard pivot towards Spider-Man content.
Yeah, so now we've got to be the most obnoxious people on the internet.
I mean, we are the perfect people to talk about Spider-Man because we're younger than Tom Holland.
Hello.
It's been alright. I played Miles Morales and completed it.
How was it?
Congratulations.
As good as the first game. I know, I didn't think the ending would match, but it did.
Spoil it.
Very... Spoiler.
No, don't. Cameron,
I have been
Miles
looking
was
at
black.
getting,
Spoilers.
getting Miles Morales, but then there's loads of games coming out at the moment that I want to get.
Just don't get them. Get Miles Morales.
Yes, but I also want to get Valhalla,
You've got to get Miles Morales.
Hitman 2, not Hitman 2, Hitman 3, because that looks fucking interesting, because it's like, we're in Dubai, now we're in Dartmoor.
woo,
And I laugh
Dubai.
at that every time.
Oh, Dan,
Hello.
speaking of what we've been up to and stuff,
Oh, no.
the previous episode we recommended a truckload of Big Finish to you.
I knew.
What
I
did
had
you
to say
get?
something. I bought Jubilee spare parts and Chimes of Midnight. A day before they all went half price.
Oh. So now what are you gonna
And
get?
they were only $2.99. I'm gonna get some more Eighth Doctor stuff, I think,
I'm
because
gonna-
I've listened to Chimes of Midnight.
I'm gonna have a
I've
look
not
now
listened
at
to
the
the other
site.
two. I think.
Spare Parts was released in 2002, fuck me.
Mhm.
Oh, it's an
I
oldie,
think
yeah.
I'm just gonna go for the beginning of his monthly range stuff.
I'll send you the
I want to hear what's going on with him and Charlie. I want to hear that whole story.
It's
Charlie.
very good.
I
Charlie.
was looking at getting the War Doctor stuff, or War Master stuff during the week as well,
It's
but
very good.
I need to get paid before that.
So I listened to Chimes of Midnight, which was absolutely brilliant. That really, if I knew it was a Christmas episode, I would have saved it to a bit later in the year. But
We're in November, it's fine.
I preferred to keep it till December.
December 1st. is when you start. You wouldn't buy 2 advent calendars and start eating one in November, would you? So
No,
you
but
Oh, yeah.
people
Yes,
across the
but
road from me
that's-
do have an inflatable Christmas tree in their garden.
pop it. Tell them to put it back up with a punchy. Get them a punchy kiss on December 1st.
I don't know if it will show up properly, but I'll try and get a photo and send it to you guys because actually no, I got one earlier. It doesn't look like an entire Christmas tree.
Well, anyway, in conclusion, I'm definitely going to listen to more Big Finish stuff. You've convinced me.
Good on you.
One of us.
Wow, no,
So we'll
no.
now have to do an episode in a year when you've been listening to Big Finish for a year and go, here's some more episodes!
Oh no!
Did you just take that picture now?
No, I got it this morning.
Right. I was gonna say it's very bright.
What have you sent him?
Look in the
That's-
chat.
So
I
what
spent my
Cameron
week
has
listening
sent
to this.
What Cameron has sent to us is a picture of a blow up Christmas tree that looks suspiciously like a butt plug.
That's funny. I might have to try. I'm gonna get that on the screen for a minute.
That really.
They are a childminder as well.
Oh well, someone should be. Who minds the childminders? What was that you showed us you were listening to, Cameron?
It's not Doctor Who related. It is the new Tim Minchin album, Apart Together.
Oh, I should
And
listen to that.
It is very good. I got a signed version.
Oh, very
Little
nice.
squiggle.
I like Tim Minchin.
Yes, I watched the live show of it on Thursday. Well, I watched it on Friday. And it was very good, and Tim Minchin made me upset, which is not a normal feeling I get when watching Tim Minchin.
I saw him in. Hang on, I'm just looking at the ticket to see when it was.
I've got the picture of the.
It was November last year, actually. I saw him. He was on tour.
Yeah, it would have been most of the stuff from that album that he did.
Really? Has he got the song from his? Hang on, I'll just look at the track listing on the back that you're showing me.
The crustiest.
Yes, Carry You. Carry You's
Yeah.
on there.
Yes.
Then, did you see his series Upright?
I did, and I pre-ordered it on DVD, and it should arrive tomorrow.
Yeah, because that's what Carry You's from.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
It is a fucking marvelous show. There's our review of Tim Minchin stuff. A year-old TV show.
So Dan, I've noticed. I've peeped your little Robert Battenbat t-shirt there.
Oh yeah,
I like it. Very
rocking
nice.
some Weekly Planet posters merch.
Some R-Pat content. Have you ever heard what he said about that? He said like he'd love to kill the person who made that nickname.
Oh, did he? Should we move on? This is a Doctor Who podcast, after
yes.
all.
Yeah.
Hang on that subject. Actually, I realised the other day I don't think we ever introduced this as a Doctor Who podcast.
No, we never did.
No, we just say
you-
it
in
every
the first
time when we get off
episode,
topic.
You
We
say
mentioned Doctor Who a lot, but at the start of it, we just go hello and welcome to the Shobocast,
Yeah.
and then talk about Doctor
no.
Who.
You say. Did we say this is a Doctor Who podcast? And I just cut whatever was said after that.
Well, I can't.
After I feel
No,
like we
we're
should
always
start introducing it as a Doctor Who podcast at the start of the podcast.
No.
But we're always talking to like an unearthly child. This must be a SpongeBob podcast.
I know, but like you got to introduce what it is conceptually.
And like
at the
we
start.
tag, I'm pretty sure it's got tags on it as sci-fi
Yeah.
and Doctor Who on the podcast
I wonder what.
website.
Wonder
Yes,
what
but
they
the
did
audio
for
should
episode
stand on
2.
its own.
Oh my god,
something.
they did Rose. That's also a Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
What did they do for
And
episode
it is a
3?
font
I
of
can't remember.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the audio should stand by itself.
Yes, but
No.
everything about it is Doctor Who.
It
in
is.
some way. Just
It-
because we don't say
Well,
this is
I mean,
a Doctor Who podcast.
I don't
doesn't-
feel like we've mentioned Doctor Who a lot in this intro.
It's a Chino from me.
It's been mainly Tim Minchin and James Bond, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but
I
this
hate
is the
it
bit
when
where we
Paul
waffle,
tries to like
so we can then go
brand words.
into the news.
We just
Good
put
segue.
shit.
Good segue.
Sorry, yeah, news-
Should we
news
talk
jingle.
about the news?
News jingle.
News jingle. Good
News
jingle.
jingle again and again.
Oh no!
Just plug them all out.
The news. Stop it. Stop.
Music to my ears.
Music to your ears that you cannot hear.
No, because we're doing the edit.
Yeah, for you have the unfortunate condition of
Listening back to this
living in the
shite.
past.
Oh.
I like how you just ignored Cameron shoving that up his nose.
Yep.
I never look at that screen. I have to look at this one and make sure everything's going smooth. I've had to put a picture of a butt plug, I mean an inflatable Christmas tree, in the corner of the screen for the rest of the episode, and that took a while to figure out. But it's there now and it's staying.
So there's only one bit of news this week.
What?
Fuck all happened. There was nothing.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Series 13, the filming.
Yeah, that's the one bit of
Paul,
news.
Paul met Mandip Gill.
Oh no.
Shall I send it in, Paul?
Yes.
There's, as Paul has said, this thing.
Right, so Dan.
So hang on a sec. Hang on a sec.
Hold on.
Right,
What's
Cameron,
going on?
you can go off on one for a minute about what the filming photos are exactly and what they think they spotted.
Am I going to introduce them in the news segment?
Dan is going to read something in a second that I need to go and fetch from Twitter to send to him.
I'm very confused.
So, whilst they're doing that, introduce the thing and I'll waffle.
I'll introduce it. Yeah. So these are set photos that were taken by some fans from a distance of some. It was they started filming around Murder Tidfield in Wales. It appears to be, first of all, there are some soldiers dressed as though they're in the Crimean War.
Yeah.
And secondly, I would say more importantly and excitingly, it looks like the Sontarans are back.
Yes. Slightly different colour scheme to normal.
Well,
by the looks of it. But
It's
it
very
is on
similar,
a heavy red light.
Yeah, very similar seemingly to their original appearance.
Yeah.
We should point out that we've been stung before. It could be the sniper bots.
Yes.
It could be, yeah, they could be bringing back beloved Doctor Who
I think
villain,
that is definitely a
the sniper
Sontaran.
bots.
I would put it on the screen, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, according to...
Next to the Sontaran, I don't know if that's just two people or not, but that does look like another alien to me.
Someone said they thought they saw Jodie there, but apparently she wasn't. Apparently she wasn't there.
Well,
take it with a grain of salt what people are saying, because loads of people are saying, yeah, no, we saw this person here doing this, and then loads of people are saying, what you're on about, that's just not happening. But quite a few people have got some zoomed in photos, so you can find those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting most of this information is from a video Ace Creeper made a couple of days ago.
Good friend Ace Creeper.
Yeah.
George.
But yeah, just to go back to the first bits, the Crimean photos does look interesting, and they've apparently cast someone who could be playing Mary Seacole.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Who is that?
Yeah.
She was a British Jamaican nurse during the Crimea, and
this rings a bell actually.
Whereas Florence Nightingale was there under the protection of the British Army, she did all of her stuff independently, and so she set up the British Hospital, which was her British Hotel, which was her hospital, which was closer to the battlefield, and she would go off into the battlefield, pick up the wounded British soldiers, bring them to this place, let them rest and recover, and then send them on their way. She had more people survive in her hospitals than Florence Nightingale, and she was entirely self-financed, and the soldiers, when she returned to England and in later life was left destitute and penniless, did a massive fundraiser for her. But then a lot of the students of Florence Nightingale tried trashing her image a bit and said, oh, she only served hot tea and cold lemonade to the soldiers, she wasn't a nurse. When she didn't build her hospital on a fucking sewer.
Well, Cameron looks really
Can we
pissed
get
off
Florence Nightingale on the show to settle this?
I think we can.
Florence Nightingale built her hospital on a fucking sewer!
The inventor of the pie
UK
chart.
and said,
Florence Nightingale.
all of these bits are unhealthy. more people died in her hospitals because of the illnesses they picked up from being on a sewer than the battlefield wounds.
Well, guess what, Cameron? All of them are dead now. So
Yes.
Yeah.
what did she
all of
really
that-
do?
But you
all
know
of
what
that
isn't
might be
dead?
true, Cameron? Pie charts.
I love.
Do you know what isn't dead? Doctor Who Series 13, because it's filming and it's been spotted. And Paul actually met Mandip Gill.
What the fuck is this? What are you on
This is
about?
the weirdest.
Go
Dan, read
to
it out.
Cameron, not Cameron, Dan, go to Messenger.
No, you read it out, Dan.
No. Yeah, Dan's going to read it, but not me.
Oh,
Dan leads
Why
the
am I
news,
going
so
to
he's
read
going
it?
to
Why
read
am
it.
I going to read
Because
it?
this is the news
Oh, is this
story.
that thing from...
Read it out loud, Dan.
Oh, there appears to be two people talking.
Yep.
I'll play whoever you're talking to, and then Paul, you play yourself.
So, do you want to send me the same screenshot you've got, Dan, in case I get confused?
Who is talking in this message? It's Paul and who?
Wait, Dan, are you sending me these screenshots?
What you want me to
Is
say?
it you, Dan?
It's me and Dan, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right, I'll send Here you go, Paul.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
Is this on Messenger? Yeah.
Oh dear God. Right. So Dan sent a tweet to Paul, from the person who got these set photos.
Yep.
Mandit Gill just walked past me, no big deal. Okay, good enough tweet. Dan responds to this with, This is getting me excited for the new series. Just the feeling the show is actually happening right now is great." That's what he sounds like.
Just like me.
And then,
How did you
and then
capture my voice?
and then I replied with, "Yeah, I love it."
Stay in character, Paul.
Plus, walking past Mandip Gill would get me excited in mud.
Well, that's disgusting.
Oh, that was obviously a joke, by the way. I'm not
Shut up, you're not talking in this bit. You didn't say that. You didn't say that in the message.
Obviously not.
You turn around and walk after her.
Fucking hell, lad, I'm not a predator.
Oh, this is a lot of words. You trace her steps back to the hotel she's staying at while shooting. Small and cheap, but cosy. In the bar downstairs, you approach her. Socially distanced, of course. And she's immediately connected to you. You don't reveal anything about you, just endlessly complimenting her every time she goes to ask who you are or what you do. Then, after a night of passionate lovemaking in her room, she wakes up with a warm smile. The memories of last night. I've lost where I was. Still in her mind, she turns her head only to find you in the bathroom with your backpacker jar, desperately clearing the shelves of their complimentary products to take them back home to yourself. Her face drops as you leave the bag of stolen shampoo. And to begin to quiz her on the latest series.
What the fuck? Lad, he typed that in like 30 seconds. I'm not even...
Honestly, I just sat there and I just thought, what would be
It was
funny?
so fast.
He follows her to the hotel and I just came out with that. So,
Lad, I was
On
like...
behalf
have you
of everyone
copied and pasted
listening,
this?
I would like to apologise for what you just listened to.
Mhm.
The views of the people involved in the writing of that do not reflect the views of those involved with the Shobocast.
Yeah, that was,
Specifically
actually,
me and
except
Cameron.
it does.
Yes.
that was actually based on something that happened with me and Dan, but he swapped
No,
himself.
it doesn't
and Mandip
represent
Gill.
the Shobocast as a whole. It just represents you and Paul.
You, your weird little mind.
I can't believe he came up with it so fast. It's so weirdly specifically detailed. Like when he put the comma and then put socially distanced, of course.
I thought you were gonna do the fucking bit about how Mandip Gill is in a dating and game simulator thing.
Oh my
No,
god,
but
that's
that
news.
news.
So, Cameron, who was I've forgotten the name of it, the person who's supposedly been cast.
I didn't see that bit. One
No, not the
second.
actress, the person who's been cast as.
Mary Seacole.
Yeah. So
Yeah, nothing-
if that's true, I think that's a really, really, if it's done well, obviously, good idea. Especially because most people's idea of the Crimean War is just Florence Nightingale. and the invention of pie charts, of course.
Is that? I thought you was doing a bit.
No, Florence Nightingale invented pie charts. That's not a joke.
What?
She must have been real fat.
She also built a hospital over a fucking sewer.
Yes.
I don't know why she did it. She just did.
This is a Florence Nightingale takedown post.
Classic.
Well, what do you two jokesters think of the return of the Suntarans?
I'm excited.
Love them.
Hopefully they're not
Okay.
comedy Suntarans. That's kind
It's
of...
nice to have. It's nice to have a Suntaran back, and it's not Strax.
On the subject of them being comedy, since Chris Chibnall doesn't know how to tell a joke, I imagine they will. I imagine
This
they'll
whole
be serious.
era is a joke, Dan. Yeah, Suntaran's cool. I hope they are in that colour scheme, the black and grey. Looks very cool.
It does. It'd be nice to go back to that.
Yeah.
As much as I like the blue.
Yeah.
No, the Jadoon have got to switch to blue and like grey blue
No.
to mix things up a bit.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We
You got it, Dan?
forgot. We forgot to watch Daleks episode 2! Exclamation
Oh,
mark.
I actually haven't watched it.
We can.
Watch it now.
We'll wait for them. All of the episodes to be
Well,
out, and then we'll
Cameron
talk
has
about it all at
disappeared,
once.
so before he comes back,
Cameron
I'll
has.
watch.
I think he's died.
Don't mention it when he comes back because he will talk about it at length.
I think we should, on the subject of Daleks exclamation mark. I think we should wait till all the episodes are out and then talk about them as a whole.
Okay, that seems fair.
I think it'll be more productive discussion. Is productive discussion? No,
Productive? Is that an option on this?
No, nothing
podcast?
to do with this podcast is productive.
I've still got the Christmas tree butt plug in shot.
As you should.
Can anyone
Yeah.
here do an impression of Syl?
Unpleasant little wormy man.
I don't remember what he. Why did
Great.
someone make a movie about Sil?
I think I've got his autograph. Hang on. Hang on a sec.
No.
So, today, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Vengeance
episode?
on Varos today. Or tonight.
a Colin
whenever you
Baker
listen to this.
episode.
This is Colin's third episode, but it's the second in series 22. Season 22.
An episode we all watched and love.
It's an episode 100% of the people in this podcast recording definitely watched all the way through.
Yep,
It's
everyone
better
here has
than
seen it.
Dilemma.
I've seen
Especially
it.
Paul.
I know. Especially Paul has definitely seen all of the episode and didn't just decide not to at all.
Lazy
So
shit.
I've got my note.
So have I, Cameron. Do you know what? Because I've seen the episode.
Stop
I haven't
using
made notes,
paper.
but I did watch it. So that's at least something.
I also haven't made notes, but I did watch it.
Okay, that's interesting.
Half of my notes are
That's
just
an interesting
fucking
perspective.
still.
I watched part one, sort of. I didn't.
Great.
I had it on.
So, what were the overall thoughts?
What was this episode about?
I don't know.
Paul, do you want to explain it? Do you want to explain the?
Yeah,
What did
go
you
on.
see?
Why not? Why not? So,
What do you
Sil
think happened?
is a weird little wormy penis man.
That's true.
He lives on a planet. Well, does he live on the planet? He lives. I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna say he lives on the planet
He doesn't.
Varos. Right.
No.
Well, let me continue. So he doesn't live on the planet Varos, but he owns the planet.
Nope.
No, right. So the planet Varos has a mineral resource that is very valuable for the Doctor.
Zyton
in
3?
whatever.
Is
Yep, maybe that.
7.
Maybe.
Seven.
seven.
I don't
Some
know.
crystal.
Okay.
The Doctor needs some because
The TARDIS
Why-
is stalled
because
and it's
TARDIS or something. Sil's there. He wants something. Perry's there. Her accent's horrific.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fake American accent, but I know she's not. I know she is American, so no excuse. It just sounds horrible.
What?
Then, what else? What else happened? There was a man chained up. People were watching him on TV as he got tortured.
There were buttons. There were Beast Below buttons that had like yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna explain the plot or just?
Madge from
blow by
Benidorm was in it.
It's just the plot.
Or Clara's Gran.
What was the episode about, Paul?
So the Doctor had to get this fuel or whatever for the TARDIS, which led him, believe it or not, to vengeance on Varos. And
Hilarity ensued.
oh yeah, once there, he meets some people, and those people would very. She's English. Well, I fucking never. How could I not tell?
Who could have
accent?
Who could have told?
What a poor choice.
Terry Brown is actually not played by a real American woman.
I thought she was.
What could have given that away?
Thought that Nicola Bryant was
I just thought it was a bad accent, because Americans always sound horrible in British TV shows, except John Barrow.
Who's Scottish?
Shut up. So, then, the Doctor meets a ragtag crew of various people, and the TARDIS goes missing.
Do we want to put him out of his misery and actually talk about the episode properly?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm enjoying this.
And then the TARDIS goes missing, episode 1 ends, and at some point in episode 2, he's put in a noose.
Yep.
And
so that's about the plot. That's about as interesting as it gets. Dan, you chose this episode as a way to get me to like Colin Baker.
Not as a way to like Colin Baker, but more to like a Sixth Doctor story.
Well, yeah.
I don't care if you don't like Colin Baker.
Well, Colin Baker as the Doctor more.
Have you seen him on our Celebrity? What a charmer!
And I'm just gonna say,
He's so nice.
You utterly fucking failed.
What? Oh. Go on then. Why didn't it? What did it not do?
Well, I didn't like it. I thought it was very boring. And,
see, I told you it wouldn't be last
Paul
week.
Based. What did you think of it?
I like it. It's not my.
It's
not my favorite episode ever by any stretch of the imagination.
Why didn't you recommend us your favourite then?
Well, I was thinking Revelation of the Daleks, but I thought we'd save that one.
Oh no.
And I'm pretty sure I did suggest it.
So it's your second favourite?
Yeah.
The others must be shit.
Twin dilemma.
Oh no, we can probably never watch that, and I'll be alright.
Wonderful.
I've seen it once. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of it, as I've seen. At this point now, I've seen all of the Sixth Doctor stuff apart from Mind Warp. No, Time Lash. Mind Warp's in Trial of a Time Lord. I've seen it so many times. Time Lash is the one that I've still not watched, and I've heard that it's just completely whatever. But I've seen the Twin Dilemma, and I've seen Attack of the Cybermen, and you know, the bad ones. So when I got to this, which is like 3 stories in for the Sixth Doctor, I was just so pleasantly surprised because I didn't hate it. Oh, and
there's worse stuff then.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful.
If I had to compare it to another Doctor, this is like this is a bit like. Oh, I can't think.
Wonderful.
You have one job.
But you came into that analogy so strong and full of confidence.
Being the only one talking, to be honest, it's a bit weird.
I'll get talk. I was just waiting till you were going to finish.
Oh, okay. So yeah, basically, it's not the best.
No.
But it's out of the Sixth Doctor stuff, it's the one that I think has the most meaning, I guess, and is the least confused with what it's trying to do. I think that's the right way of saying it. I think everyone listening to this right now on the bus is probably shouting, "You stupid idiot!" But
who's listening?
Who's listening to this? Who's getting a bus?
Who listens? I just look at things now. I've given up on audio.
Do you know who's getting a bus? And a second series, Lady Christina.
Back to the news.
Wonderful. It's not news.
They're just news.
Yeah, so go on. What was it about it Is there stuff you liked? Let's start with that. Is there stuff that you
Is there
liked?
stuff
Maybe not specifically the Sixth Doctor, but the episode, the story.
Is there stuff I liked?
Okay.
There were. I like that a young Alistair Thorne from Game of Thrones was in it.
Who's that?
He's the one that kills Jon Snow. Spoilers.
Oh,
The TV show. I don't know if you watch anymore. What?
He weren't even born, that little kid that's...
No, not the little kid. The guy in
Holy
charge.
fucking idiot.
Fucking moron. You Paul.
I got you.
No, you didn't. The only person you got then was yourself.
You.
It was really, really slow. The 20 minutes in, I checked. 20 minutes in, and the TARDIS still hadn't landed.
Oh my god.
For no reason for that either. There was nothing.
It didn't show up for 10 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, they could have cut everything at the
Yep.
start of that within the TARDIS, and
Do you
just
know-
said, "Oh no, the TARDIS is broken. We need some fuel. We've landed here." There,
So,
3
you know when,
sentences.
you say that, like, a multi-part story in Classic Who, you
Mhm.
can get rid of about 4 of the episodes.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
2
potentially.
episodes, and we've already got rid of
2.5
20
minutes.
minutes.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
this series that they went from 4 to 2 episodes.
Mhm. Well, there were
So-
also 2 45-minute
And then back
episodes
again.
though as well.
Yeah.
But
So in
this was
that
written as a
sense-
4-parter.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Still also unpleasant to look and listen to.
I'd argue that
I-
that's the point, though.
I
Yeah.
know,
Because I
but
think they try, especially this era of like TV and stuff. I don't think anyone tries to make like attractive things like
I mean,
that.
I can understand if that, but it just meant that every scene he was in, I didn't want to watch.
Yeah,
You know what?
it's
Most of
the
them-
opposite ASMR when he talks. 'cause he's a kid with his
Yes, he sounds
You've
like
got to
Dick
admit,
and
though-
Dom at the same time.
Yeah, it reminds me of that show. They're like tiny.
Of Diddy, Dick, and Dom.
Yeah, it's just like, ooh. No, yeah, no, I get your point. You've got to admit
Dan.
that the prop's impressive.
Dan.
Yes.
The prop is impressive.
You've gotta
Still
give
do be
props.
kind of cringe, though.
Syl is beautiful.
He's
As
he's
is
got
our
his own
boy,
movie, hasn't he? Or
Colin
something.
Beaker.
So, Dan, with bits you think could get cut,
Yes.
I think that the characters of Arak and Etta could get cut, and you
Were
probably don't
they-
even know which ones they are.
Were they the
I don't.
2 rebels they helped?
No,
Oh.
Everyone's watching the TV show out, aren't they?
they're the ones watching TV.
Oh, I do have a note about that. Yeah.
I feel like
Those are-
every
that
time
weird-
they are on, it takes away from the flow of the
Anything.
show.
I
It's
do.
like-
It
It's
is-
like shit Gogglebox,
it's-
which
yeah,
is really
it's
saying
like
something.
Gogglebox, yeah.
It's like Gogglebox, but even worse.
It's
The
my
shit Gogglebox playing normal Gogglebox is good.
No, well, that's if you listen to my words, Paul.
this is
I did imply that it was
it's
bad.
part of my headcanon that is indeed Madge still from Benidorm, and she ended up going to Earth.
I could not, for the life of me, figure out the point of them.
Just in
I
it.
couldn't either, and I had to research all of the trivia
It's-
about this episode.
It's trying to do the Robert Holmes thing of having a weird little duo that are a bit.
Yeah, I
They
think
do
that's
it
what
later
is.
on
A bit
again.
silly.
In Revelation, and it's like even more weird, but it kind of works in that one.
When Dan just screamed,
Yeah.
it's silly.
It's a
Well,
bit silly.
Yeah. Cameron. Oh
Cameron.
no, sorry, sorry, Dan. What notes have you got?
Wonderful.
No one talk.
Great
That's
notes.
fine.
Right. Oh no, it's probably not a good time to bring this up.
It never is.
Oh God. Are you gonna bring it up?
What?
We're on tenterhooks here, Paul.
Come on, Paul. Spit it out.
Me?
Yes.
Can you not hear that?
Hey, what?
Oh, well, I started playing fucking Vengeance of Varos Part 2 and the title sequence came on. I thought it was fucking
That's it.
used. No, I thought it was used playing music. So I was that confused.
Oh, that's it.
I was just going to say someone
Disappointing.
is trying to I'll say flog a dead horse, yeah. Sonic lipstick, broken, with no lid, for £15.
15.
What are you talking about, Paul? I can't see anything. Every time you do that, we can't see what you're when you're pointing the
Sonic
Sonic
lipstick. Someone's trying to sell on Facebook Marketplace
Oh.
for 15.
Broken for £15, and it's got no lid.
What a bargain!
So
What a
were
bargain!
you just looking on Facebook Marketplace while we were talking about
No,
the episode?
it was just in my feed.
Wonderful.
But yeah, my thoughts on this episode are I have none.
Okay,
What a
so
surprise.
back to Dan. What else?
What else?
I don't want to. I want to make it out. I'm not. It's not. We're not here to debate. I'm not here to die on a hill for vengeance on Varos. Like this entire
I would love
era,
to see that.
I think for me, from the 5th Doctor to the 7th Doctor's second series I think that's the worst era of the show. That might be a bit. It might sound a bit strong to say that. I don't hate it.
From where in the 5th Doctor?
But in terms of probably.
Because I've got a soft spot for him. I like the 5th Doctor.
I know what you mean. I've got a few guilty pleasures, but I think
I
think the show overall had peaked, and it was. You can tell because of the budget cuts and stuff like that. I think at this point, especially.
I feel like the 3rd to the 4th Doctor, and a bit of the early 5th Doctor, where they were still having that transition, is seen as the Doctor Who golden age of classic Who.
I would agree with that.
Definitely Tom was definitely the peak. I think.
Yeah.
And I think Davison did bloody well, but I think that for me this is the worst. What we're watching is kind of dead center of the worst era of the show.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to defend it. He's definitely one of my favourite Doctors, but it's not. Again, this story has some real problems, as do all of them.
Yeah, I did have some good bits that I liked in this one, like the sort of I guess comedy bit at the start with the Doctor and Perry, where it's just oh, you managed to burn dinner last night, and it was meant to be a cold supper. It shows that the Doctor isn't quite all there and things, and also how can we have their system of what they do with the governor, where if they don't like his vote, you can just torture him.
I noticed the line though of oh, he's the worst governor since, and she says since the
last one.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, that's what we're living in now. This is really good. I don't like this. It's so funny when old Doctor Who does political commentary, and you kind of laugh for a minute. You think, God, what were they going through? Oh,
I think the best thing with their politics I can compare it to is it's a bit of an Orwellian story.
Yeah, I feel like the vibes they were going for.
What are we saying? Doctor Who's never been political, guys. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's just silly aliens. It's silly aliens.
Yeah, sorry. Crazy SJW leftist propaganda.
Yeah, it's Doctor Who. There's never been politics. It's always just silly monsters and men in hats and allegories for the European Union. I didn't mean that last bit.
And the miners' strike.
It was never political until women got involved.
Yes, by creating the show in the first place.
Yeah.
I also liked one of the names for the bits with the Phantoms of the Punishment Dome, since it just sounds like a really cheesy horror film.
The Punishment Dome. What was going on with that?
No, just the name Phantoms of the Punishment Dome. That is the horror film, and I want to watch it.
It's a good name, but let's discuss the Punishment Dome.
What the fuck was it? And the two lights that made a tiger noise.
Yeah, not so. They were running away from some people in a little golf cart.
Adorable.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure on set they only had one of.
You only ever see one.
You do, and they'd fit 5 people on it at the same time.
It's only got one chair.
Is this
it's got one chair, and there's 7 people.
It's literally slower than walking. I pointed that out when I was watching. I was like, "This is you could just hold hands and walk, and even be more efficient than this." Did you notice?
Yes.
So,
go on.
Sorry. While they were going, because they thought that something was there for them, but it was just green lights. And
Mhm.
I think it's Perry goes like, "It's just green lights," and they all laugh a bit, and they're like, "Oh, idiots." And then I think, hang on, all of this episode has
Whoopsie.
been people being tortured by lights. Like, there's the guy getting, what is it? It's the cell,
laser to
cell
Big
the
the hot
divider.
laser.
It's the cell divider or something like that. And it
Yeah.
is literally just like someone shining a torch on him, and he goes, "Ah!" So much of Classic
Ah!
Who does that, where they just shine a light on someone, and it's like radiation. So
yeah,
I like that it points
they're-
that out.
They're running away from the little people in a golf cart, and then they're like, "Oh, the purple zone or something. That we can't go in the purple zone. We'd be dead for sure." And as far as I can tell, what they encounter in the purple zone is
2 old men in their underwear.
Yeah, 2 old men in their underwear. One of whom is really not trying at all. A projection of a close-up video of a fly.
Yeah.
And 2 green lights.
And those weird cobweb weed
Oh yeah,
things.
cobwebs that kill you instantly. They were fine, but also just roll on the floor. They seemed very easily avoidable.
Yes.
Did you're not meant to go in there because usually those 2 old men are just wanking each other off.
They'll eat you.
Oh, Paul.
The-
I was
the
going to
illegal-
make a
Paul.
joke about how the purples are, you go in there and they're just constantly playing Deep Purple. But now
Hello?
you've soured this entire podcast with that.
It was quite nice
As
how
you often do.
these, like,
They're all
they're meant to
raging
be
home.
savage cannibals, yet
Uh-huh.
he drags him off when he's dead.
Yeah.
I find that quite adorable.
Better clean
That
this
was quite
up.
sad, actually. Yeah.
That changed this whole perspective on cannibalism. He's never done it since.
Good for him.
But there's also the line that Perry speaks at. It's like, these corridors all look the same to me, and it's like, that was clearly put
Oh,
in
yeah,
when
that's
you had
a-
a budget
yeah,
cut
that's
and you
like
only
a-
had one corridor set.
Self-aware kind of.
Can I
I love that stuff.
I like that Cameron also calls it a corridor. Thank you, Cameron. I've got a lot of shit for that over the years.
A corridor.
Yeah.
Let's not get into this.
Corridor.
You want to fight me and Cameron, Dan? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah,
Then
right. I've got nothing else on.
Apart from this podcast.
Apart from this podcast, but I wouldn't call it
We'll
content.
see you next week because we want to go and
We'll see you next week.
Finger
I like
Go on.
I like the Doctor and Perry's dynamic in this one, and it happens in a few of them as well, where it's he's a smart guy, he's got a lot of experience,
Yeah.
but socially he's a real dick. He's horrible
He's
to
an
like everyone
arsehole.
in me, and
Yeah.
so she needs to step in and be like, sorry about him, and she kind of gets the thing dealt with. I like that, and I don't think we see
Yeah.
much of it in the modern era. We do, but not like.
With Clara,
I'd
we
like to
it
see
all
more of
the
that.
time. With Capaldi and Clara.
The 6th
Yeah,
Doctor is a bit
yeah, a
similar
bit
to
of
the
that.
2nd Doctor in that way.
Cue the cards.
Like, the 2nd Doctor's meant to be this bumbling fool who is actually really smart, and the 6th Doctor is this slight bumbling fool, but also arrogant because he knows he's smarter, even if he doesn't always show it.
Mm.
But
And he's also Colin Baker.
Yeah, I like 6, especially with is it Evelyn? From Big Finish.
I'm not sure.
Is like it's interesting to see him with an older companion because she's kind of
Because
at the
you're
same level as him. She's not constantly asking questions. She'll answer back and she'll tell him what's what. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, no, I like 6th Doctor and Perry mostly.
yeah,
Apart from when he strangles her. That was the
Yeah,
worst
that
thing.
small bit.
Terrible.
Alien spy. Did anyone else pick up on the line Syl said at the end of episode 1, though?
Was
No,
Oh, that classic line.
the dead as death bit. It's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, what else are they going to be as dead as?
Yeah, that was funny. And then that bit after, I mentioned it before we started recording, when he says the guy who's like in charge of the programming is saying "and cut now" and the episode ends.
Yep,
I love that.
clever.
I don't know why they haven't
something.
done something like that already.
But it's like the Doctor is dead. Cliffhanger. But that must have been some placebo they had in that zone where it's like, well, he thinks he's dehydrating, so he is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The hallucinations must be so strong.
Yeah. Like, I have quite a few notes, but they're mostly just, like, random bits that I picked up. And they're actually just me trying to think of something to compare it to, and I never went back and compared it to something.
Beast Below.
Don't know.
Yeah, I can see where the Beast Below comparison.
Yeah, Beast Below is definitely inspired by this
Yeah.
one. It
That
just
gives
did,
me a
it
Beast
just did
Below.
everything better.
Oh, he's back.
That gives
Yeah.
all of us a Beast Below.
What did you guys think of the acid bath, then?
It's received
First
a
thing,
lot of
why
flack.
was only one of the guards wearing a rebreather? One of them just had the normal face, the other one had a gas mask on.
I love the Cameron asked what you're thinking, and Dan went to say what he thought, and he just interrupted him.
Well, no, I thought he
Always.
was going to mention the elephant in the room. The
literal
reason people
elephant in
have
the
a problem with the Sixth Doctor and then the 10th Doctor with the gun later on saying I never would, because a lot of people seem to think he throws a man into acid.
He doesn't
He-
at all.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah,
sending you a
'cause-
virtual kiss through Discord right now. Thank you.
It's like I dislike the Sixth Doctor in this episode, but I don't feel like that's a reason.
He's not
to.
a murderer. I hate
Yeah.
that
No.
when people
One guy
get the 10th Doctor
falls
saying,
in-
"Oh, I never would," and they're like, "Yeah, but he pushed
just-
a man in
he-
acid." He didn't.
He wakes up and the guy just jumps into the acid, seemingly.
I
He
think it's more like, falls
He
back.
he falls,
Yeah, falls back,
and then he reaches out
pulls
to
the other guy in.
well, you think he reaches out to try and get the Doctor. The Doctor moves cleverly so that he grabs his friend instead. So he lets someone fall into acid. He doesn't push them in and
And then-
deliberately kill them.
It's the
And
Batman
then
Begins.
he delivers the
Yeah, it is
James
the Batman
Bond.
Begins defense.
He gets a James Bond like quip afterwards, which I love.
Change me there.
Yeah.
No.
That's what he
Ask my
said.
dear. You'll
Forgive me if I won't join you.
It's an acid bath, my dear, and it seems not a moment too soon.
I
Cut to the guy.
suppose you could make the point like, oh, he didn't really give a shit when they died, but
Why would he?
He's
yeah,
Sass
No.
McGrath.
they kind of they kill themselves in a way.
Yeah, originally it was written. This entire story was more comedic, and so that was one of the big comedy scenes.
You can see some of the bits where that's been left in.
Yeah,
The comedy
and
What's
like,
a
I
knee
think that
slapper?
final quip is meant to be in a more comedic thing, but because it was shot as a more darker story and they removed more of the comedy previously, it's just like
So much
the
of
Doctor's just mocking their death.
yeah, so much of the music for this series as well is very, very
Plinky
like
plonky.
yeah, exactly. And there's a bit in I hate to keep bringing it up, but in Revelation of the Daleks, there's an outright joke about her breaking his dick, and then
Cheeky.
it leads you to think that she's broken his dick, and she's saying, "I'll get you a new one," and then he pulls something out his pocket, and it's actually his watch, and it's like, "Oh, you thought it was his willy." It's like,
No.
so yeah, there's some, like I said, this era they don't know what they're doing.
Confused.
But yeah, it's very
Yeah.
confused. Lots of good ideas, especially the one about the Doctor. Even when fives were generating it, saying it feels different this time, and it's like, what's gonna happen? And his first episode, he's a horrible, horrible man.
Yeah, he is
But then it
just
just
a dick
gets
and not
More confused.
because 11 could be like an arrogant prick sometimes.
9.
12 could be as well.
I think 9
But I didn't
definitely.
hate them because they were all so nice.
Yeah, they've
Whereas
got
6
flaws.
just seems to be outright. They have flaws, but
Even
not flaws
even
that
3
make
was a
me
bit
not
of a
want to
dick.
watch.
I think the first time you hear 3 speak is where he's being really impatient with a
Mhm.
unit guard. He's saying like, "Don't just hang around, go and do this." That's the
I-
first time
I-
you hear him speak.
I just couldn't get by. I never have been able to, and I this didn't help.
I think when we get through more of his stuff,
Hmm.
something will click, because it did with me. For ages, I thought that he is the worst Doctor, and they're all good in their own right, but something clicked with me. After I'd like just been binging through his stories, and I just stopped, and I realised I stopped whatever I was doing. I was like, no, actually, I really do like this, and watched Trial all in one go. Something I'm sure.
Trial is something I'll be interested to.
Yeah,
to see the
I'm
whole
sure
thing of.
you'll as we get through more of his stuff, you'll hit a little
Mhm.
realization, I think. But
Trial's a whole season of the show, isn't it?
Trial,
Yeah.
it was cancelled for a year and then came back for Trial, which was it's 4 stories, all with 4 parts. It's interesting. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
It's not
Dan
great.
watches it every day.
I don't. I watch it
You
every
do.
week.
Oh, well, sorry.
Nah, I've actually only watched it like probably
7
five
times this week.
times. No,
Only
This week.
5.
probably 5 times ever. I've watched it more than I've watched Time of the Doctor.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I think the episode I've watched the most though is probably it might be 11th Hour.
I could not tell you the episode I've watched the most because I just rewatched it that many times.
That's probably Rose actually. I've watched Rose the most, I think.
I'd like to say The Doctor's Wife, but I can't be confident on that. Because I used to watch them out of order a lot as well, like on TV, so
I've seen Vincent the
whatever they
Doctor a
bring the
lot.
most. Oh yeah, I've also seen that a lot.
Yeah,
Cameron.
I don't think I've got much left to say about this. A little bit, but
Same.
oh yeah, I wonder why, Paul.
Go
So
home.
to get the Dan's shitty joke out of the way, it had an average of 7 million views per week.
Oh, that's pretty low, isn't it, for Doctor Who?
How many?
Yeah.
How many specifically, Cameron?
First one had 7, second one had 7.2. So
Look at this.
Oh, I was
Firing
waiting
off
for the
the-
two.
firing
No,
off the
no,
dome.
there's only one.
Oh, it's not as
Um,
low as Series 12. It's low.
yeah,
That's a
I think
kick in
it
the
was
cock right there.
possibly the lowest it had been at that point since like Tom Baker and stuff.
I'll do a bit of searching up.
A bit tired.
The gallows set at one point broke when Colin Baker and the other guy were on it with the nooses on,
Mhm.
but because the nooses were never tied up, they just fell straight down.
And that's how they
Um,
filmed that scene.
Yeah. The character of Arak and Etta, when we all think they could have been cut, never interact with the other characters on screen. They only ever watch
Not
them.
at all. Not at all.
And they were also added as an 11th hour idea.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Do I have any other? No, and there is no location filming outside or anything. It was all filmed entirely in the BBC studios, which makes it look really cheap in my eye because it's
Yeah,
just like the
yeah,
same.
It feels
Or
very
that-
very
like
close and very claustrophobic, I guess is the word.
Yeah,
It's
Mhm.
like it's quite restricting.
and Nicola Bryant was allergic to the glue they used for her transformation into a bird.
Yeah, and Sill's kind of like turned on by it a bit because it's quite cool because he's so disgusted by like
No,
humans,
it's
and
the
then when
rebel
she...
woman that he gets turned on by.
Oh right, is it
She
that?
just
Yeah,
turns to a lizard.
because she starts turning
Yeah.
into looking less like she does, and he starts going, "Oh, actually,
It's just so,
She's
every
right.
s-
Almost
every
attractive
scene
now.
he's
so
in.
slimy."
Every scene he's in is just so unpleasant. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. It just so much pointless. It was so much bureaucracy.
Yeah,
It was just, oh well, now that this law has been passed, now the votes, I've got the votes, and I'm gonna stop you with, and that's what I need. And it's, oh, shut up, do something else.
the uniforms reminded me a bit of like the Star Wars and the Nazi uniforms as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they looked a lot like SA shirts,
hmm
which never a good look to go for.
No, unless you're doing it on purpose.
Yes, which I don't think they were.
I think they just had some Nazi uniforms lying around from
Oh,
a
so
World
much
War Two.
old Doctor Who is just what costumes they've got lying around from other BBC
Oh.
Yeah.
period pieces.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it did feel like it started to drag quite a lot towards the end. Like, once they get them out of the bird thing, it's just like, you could have sped that entire sequence up.
Hmm.
But, yeah.
My final thoughts are: I hate you, Dan, and
You're welcome.
and I regret ever talking to you.
Huh. Seems fair.
So I think that's my final thoughts on the episode.
I've heard worse.
I enjoyed it, but that's only because I've seen worse Sixth Doctor stories.
Right, see,
Oh, I
you
can't
know what
wait.
I
I
mean.
can't
You've seen
wait for
Twin
them.
Dilemma, haven't you?
Yes.
Right. So this
If you ever
compared to
recommend that, I will kick you in the balls.
Yeah, no, we're not watching.
If I get a chance, I'll watch Twin Dilemma in the week, and I'll get back to you next podcast.
You don't.
No,
wanna.
just I don't want to, but I
If you're
feel
gonna
like
watch it
I should
for the pure tonal whiplash and for your heart to be
Yes.
destroyed, you should watch Caves of Androzani before, because that is
Oh,
so
fuck.
good. And then it gets to
Yeah.
it's so weird. They do that, and then they go, "Let's introduce the new Doctor in his first episode at the end of the season." And it goes horribly wrong, like it's a huge car crash of an episode, and then it's like, well, see you next year, and so many people just thought, I'm not going to tune in for that. Way to alienate your viewers, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's what I like about the current Doctor Who, is they never do what they did in the previous ones, where it's just like, right, well, they're regenerating, but we're halfway through a series, so we'll just continue.
Mm.
Like, I feel it's much better to have the regeneration and then leave people hanging for a bit before we get the new Doctor.
Yeah, give it some room to breathe. That's why I've always kind of conceptually liked the idea of a Doctor regenerating in the middle of a story, just like you're on board with this Doctor, and then, oh no, something's gone wrong, and they've just regenerated, and no one was expecting it. But when in practice, it would be like I want to say goodbye to that Doctor. I want some space in between them and the next one.
Yeah.
Like it's a fun idea, but
Here's a question.
I find it wouldn't work in practice.
Just while we're on the subject, I know, like, I've not seen much Second Doctor stuff, and you've not seen much Sixth Doctor stuff and whatever. But which Doctors do you feel should have got another series?
Capaldi. Not because of
I
Judy
think
Owen.
Smith. I think Matt Smith.
I would have
Clara.
loved another Smith series.
I
As
do
he's
miss
my
him.
favourite Doctor. So
I do
Oh,
find myself
yeah.
missing him a lot nowadays.
Yeah, I would have loved a full series 7 and a full series 8 with him and Clara.
But then, Stephen Moffat would definitely have been out of ideas.
Yeah.
No,
He was out
didn't
by
stop
days in series 4.
him.
Is it a bit counterproductive to say again as a like proper TV Doctor?
Yeah.
I suppose so, but from what I've heard from Big Finish, I think he's properly found his feet in that.
But I would have liked to have seen some of those Big Finish stories as an actual TV story and everything.
I would like to see him return properly.
Yeah.
Obviously, another Smith series would be great, but I feel like Capaldi had like just found us.
Another one of
Definitely, yeah.
Capaldi
I feel
Paul
like
Mackey.
Series 10's his best series, and
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
where he really like shows
Yeah.
how
His
good he
like
is.
the way he interacts with people and his costume and the way he looks changed so much and so quickly from series 8 to 10 that when it got to his finale, it felt like, yeah, this is him, and it's like, oh, he's gone now.
Yeah,
If we
it
had
was like-
another
It was
few
like he
episodes,
finally established his character in series 10.
but it was too late.
Like, because series 8, they were like, he's going to be a very dark Doctor, and then by
I
series
I think
10,
we're
they were like,
missing
just kind.
the obvious answer, which is Christopher Eccleston.
No, but he's no. Well,
You
yeah.
see,
But
I-
Eccleston
I like the real
did what he wanted to in that one series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like with him, he's done everything he needed to.
it's the same reason
Yeah.
I get dead pissy when they do Big Finish stuff and like, not the books, because some of the books are really good, but the more they do with him, I'm like, no, like his story is so concise, and it works so
Yeah.
neatly in that nice
Yeah.
Well,
year's
I
worth
think
of.
we say that now, knowing everything that came after him.
Yeah, true. We are biased.
I would have, and also it was because he left halfway through that season. So the ending was kind of written retroactively to make it probably feel
Well,
a
no,
bit
because
more
apparently
concise.
he was only ever contracted for one series, and he went, right, I'm going to do this one series for you, and then I'm out.
I thought he had creative differences halfway through and left. Because the announcement
There's
of him
many
leaving,
different stories.
yeah,
He
but the announcement of him leaving was after the first episode aired.
I think the answer to it is that if we just watch Series 1 for the first time, we're like halfway through Series 2, and you asked us that question, it'd be like, yes, he definitely needed more. But in the
Yeah.
time that we've had since then, and the more you revisit
Yeah.
Series 1, you look at that thing I mentioned the other week about you can make your own little mini-series out of it because everything ties in so well. That
Yeah,
it's just the gift that keeps on giving, Series 1. I love it
It's
so
like
much.
it's like the War Doctor could have done more, but like the amount of time you get with them, you're like, no, that's all you need.
Again,
And he
yeah, and they
literally has,
make
like,
him.
one
It's the same thing like you mentioned with Capaldi. Like they start off with a really interesting new direction. Like he's
Yeah.
the one we don't talk about. He's a horrible man who's killed so many people, and then you meet him for
he's a
an
lovely
episode,
little old man.
and he's just super nice. He's nicer than the
Yeah.
first Doctor.
He's
What?
he's too
Yeah.
hard on himself.
What's that? Yeah, he's like 3 mixed with 7.
Yeah. But then that's like the Doctor before that all happened, so it's like, you sort of see,
Oh, that's
they
true.
never talk about him, but then you sort of like get to see it from his point of view as well of, why do those two me's hate me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why don't they talk about me? Which is
But he also
also
hates
really good.
himself. He's like,
So
don't call me that.
Those are our thoughts on
Yeah.
Vengeance on Varos.
Yeah.
Do you not?
Have we got any viewer thoughts? I don't think we have, but
Ed said he's not seen it, and I told him
wonderful.
to.
Nice, thanks. Ed.
So what do we want to do next week then?
Well,
Pop up a
No.
randomizer.
Oh, what do you want?
we
Paul?
will be discussing the Revolution of the Daleks trailer.
That's not going to take all episode, and you don't get
Yeah,
a say in
that's-
it because
that's
you
the
can
news.
watch this one.
That's
So
the news, Paul.
Fuck off, we can do an episode on that.
No, we can't.
We're
We
not
can't.
doing a full episode on a trailer. No.
Oh, come on, you take the piss.
That's like
We'll talk for it.
Maximum
We'll talk
20
about it
minutes.
for as long as you want, but we're not making it the subject of the.
Yeah, make it the subject of an episode.
Paul. You
It's a
didn't watch
normal
the
thing to
episode
do.
this week. Shut up.
Yeah, you don't
shit.
get a say.
You
let's
don't
do
get a say in
Let's do a
this.
modern series one because that way
yeah.
it should
I
take
think-
less time. We can talk about.
Yeah,
the
do a
trailer.
modern series one, but I think widen it to all the Doctors because we've done one from each of them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to pick a specific Doctor this time.
So new series only. Put all Doctors. Yeah.
Well, that's happening.
The first one.
Cameron, do you want to sing a little song? We can sing a little song together.
I've got it up. I've got the. First
Oh, he's got
one.
it. Oh,
But
thank
if you want
God.
to sing a song,
Thank
you
God.
can. While I try and forget that I saw this one.
What is it?
Can you do the Sarah Brightman note in Phantom of the Opera?
I've not seen Phantom of the Opera.
Ah, come on. Do the Sarah Brightman note.
Oh, okay. I'll guess what the Sarah Brightman note is. Was that it?
Yeah,
barely came
close
through.
enough.
So the one that we got given was the Husbands of River Song.
That's a
No,
Christmas
I
episode.
think-
We're not doing
I
that.
know, and I think it comes up every time I use the randomizer.
Yeah, we have seen it multiple times.
So another one. Oh, Asylum of the Daleks.
Oh, I'll be interested to revisit that.
And our third one is The Time of Angels / Flesh and
No,
Stone.
our
a
second
two-parter,
one.
So that'll take even longer. So
I know, but I love that episode.
I know, but we're doing.
Do it again.
It'd be a lengthy episode. That if
Do
we
it
did.
again.
What?
Do it
I
again.
don't. It was why?
Because the first time didn't count.
Well, first of all, it was the same.
Okay,
That's the
well,
same
I've
length as
done
this,
it
the
again,
episode
and
we
it's
just
Twice Upon a
watched.
Time, which is a Christmas one, isn't it? And it's
Oh,
also
yeah.
Twice Upon a Time, so I don't want to do that. The Stolen Earth Journey's End, that's a two-parter. Oh, okay, here's a cool one that we've not done, we mentioned ever. Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS.
I'm liking the Matt Smith multiple appearances.
Yes.
Oh, so it seems like it's going to be between Asylum, Journey to the Center of TARDIS, and Time of
If we
Angels.
don't like these,
I don't
want to
do a
the
two-part, though.
episode suggestion
Well, I
ones.
don't think it's going to take longer.
It will.
I think it
Are
will.
you sure? Well,
I
because
think it will.
it's the same amount of episodes that we've just discussed, though.
Yeah, but this was
But we're
shit.
doing.
And
That's why we're doing a modern series one, is because they're genuinely shorter to talk about, because they're shorter in length. So we can do the episode will be half and half. We'll have a bit of news and tat, but then we'll have the trailer breakdown that apparently is going to take a full episode's worth.
Right. Not a breakdown. I meant like theories for the episode.
Right, Paul.
A discussion.
If you think that
Normal podcasts do
the breakdown of the most podcasts are boring.
Yeah, but like you always go, oh, we don't have to do an episode every episode, and then when I suggest one, you're like, no, we do have to do one.
It's just
that
that one wasn't.
the centre of the TARDIS. Or do you
Sorry,
want?
what was that?
Do you want to do Asylum?
I'd rather do none.
Hands up for Asylum of the Daleks.
Yeah.
I will go with the majority vote.
That's what I'm
Asylum
doing.
of the
So
Daleks.
what?
Right, so if you two vote for something, I will go with that.
I'm fine with Asylum,
I'm fine with Asylum.
and Paul doesn't get a vote, so it's
Paul doesn't
decided.
get a vote because he probably won't watch it. Cameron, you're
I'm not going to
going
watch
with
it because I'm not up to it yet.
What's that
What do you
even
mean you're not up to it? It's a what?
I've just finished series 5.
Paul, you're doing a podcast about Doctor Who, Paul. It doesn't matter. You watch the episode they're watching that week.
Thanks for
Nope.
listening. You can get in touch.
What an end.
Shobocast@gmail.com, @Shobocast on Twitter and
You should,
Instagram,
because you
and
simply must
also
be
on
on email.
Twitch. You
these
simply
days.
have to stop interrupting me these days. And I'm joking. Yeah, this has been an interesting one. Next week, we promise it will be worth listening to.
I don't know. I enjoyed this discussion, I think.
It's
I
been
won't have,
enlightening.
hopefully next week, I won't have to spend part of the news drinking Jack Daniels straight from the bottle.
You can find me at Shinksy_ on Twitter. Dan, where can they find you?
You can find me in your nearest newsagents for 55p.
Cameron, where are you?
I am also in the newsagents for 99p, going up to £2.50 next week.
So no one's going to pay you then.
And of course, Paul can be found in the same newsagents, but on the top shelf, hidden
With
behind
a little piece of paper covering him.
Goodbye.
We'll
Bye.
see you next week when we go into the centre, on a journey into the centre of
Oh, he's done it.
the Earth. Dwayne
He's
Johnson.
done it.
Goodbye.
He's done it. Goodbye.